I just wanted to comment very quickly on what Sister Lucy was saying. And you know, I like to hear those kinds of testimonies because those things strengthen my heart. It strengthened my endurance. It strengthened my prayer life. And see, we people, they don't have to have, but it does us good when we hear something positive, that it encourages us, it kind of keeps us going, it kind of motivates us to get just a little stronger, just to pray a little longer, just to have a little more strength, being built up in the things of the word of the Lord. And when God revealed himself, that should strengthen us. We believe and we honor him and we know that. But some people will say, I got to see it to believe it. Well, I don't have to see it to believe it, but it certainly does encourage and strengthen me when I hear about the works of the Lord. Amen? And thank you for that testimony, Sister Lucy. On those finances, the Lord been speaking to me about some things as well. So that was verification of what he's been speaking to me. And you know, we need to know how to deal with finances. And we need to know how to deal with people concerning finances when we need them to come in. And I believe that Pastor Hargan is wise in that area. And so I won't say anything else about that. But it's a verification. The Lord had been speaking to me about finances too. And the amazing thing is as well that he wasn't speaking big things. Come on, somebody. He said if we be thankful for a little, he would bless us with greater and bigger things. Amen. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get to my subject today. And what I'm going to talk about it, and we're all, well, not all of us, but some of us, the majority of us, as I know, are saved in here. But I'm just going to talk about help people to know Christ. How do we help people to know Christ? And some of you might say, well, I'm on the street, I'm doing this, and I witness the people on my job, and I'm doing different things, and this and that and the other, and concerning witnesses and carrying the word of the Lord. But I just want to say to you, we being human beings, we need a reminder once in a while. Amen? Will somebody agree with me on that? Amen. We need a reminder once in a while. So some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about this morning is going to be a reminder. And then again, some stuff may be new to you. And then again, it may be old to you, but presenting in a different way. Amen? So anyway, we're just going to go ahead and get off into that. As someone would find Matthew 28:19 real quick. Brother Tony, would you take that one? Sister Lucy, find Matthew Mark 16:15. Pastor Bowden, would you find Luke 24:47? And would someone else find John 20:21? I'm just finding those, and I want to share those with you for just a moment. The key thing that I'm trying to tell you, that when God put out a word, he put out a word. He doesn't change that. Let me know when you got it. He doesn't change that. Would you read that, Brother Tony?
Matthew
Matthew 28:19.
Therefore go and make disciples of all.
Therefore go and make disciples of all who?
Nations.
Of all who?
Nations.
It didn't say all of Zion, all of Waukegan. It said all nations.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Go ahead.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son
Baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son,
and the Holy Spirit.
and the Holy Spirit. Not in the name of Jerry, Tony, or somebody else. I don't want to get them in because of me, but because of the name of the Lord and His kingdom that is to be built. Second one, please. Mark 16:15.
And he said unto them,
And He said unto them,
Go ye into all the world,
Go ye into all the world.
and preach the gospel to every creature.
Preach the gospel to every creature. Creature being every human being type creature. Preach to a cat and dog. They ain't going to do nothing but bark or meow. I say God wants some real people, not some real cats and dogs. So some people get confused when they say creature, He means His creation, men.
Amen.
Amen. The next one, please. Luke 24:47.
And that repentance and remission of sin should be preached in.
And that repentance of what now?
Of sin.
Of sin. Repentance of sin. Repentance of sin. We don't go out there talking about what we did last night. How good I look. My hair is curly.
Preach.
I got a nice beard.
Go ahead on now.
Or look at me. Amen? Go ahead, Pastor.
That sin should be preached in His name among all nations.
That sin should be preached in His name. See, that's the thing. Now, a lot of times we don't want to tell folks about sin.
Come on now.
We don't want to mention it. We don't want to talk about it, praise God. But we have to bring that sin in order to get them to see the picture that they need Jesus.
All right.
Yes.
See, if somebody think you're okay, then they're not going to seek help. I used to work with people that had drug problems and addictions and various things and alcohol. And one of the first things in your recovery is you have to admit, hey, I got a problem.
Yes. Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
The second thing you have to do is say, I need some help.
Yes.
And so we have to let the sinner know, hey, you got a problem. We don't abuse them. We don't go out there hollering, you going to hell, you devil, you drunkard, you this, you that. But we need to let them know you have a problem. And you know what's so funny is what's so amazing to me? We go tell them about the problem, but the thing is, most sinners know they got a problem.
All right.
Yes.
But what we don't do, oftentimes as Christians, we don't tell them how to resolve that problem.
Come on.
Amen?
Amen.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Beginning at Jerusalem.
Beginning at Jerusalem. In other words, start. What was he talking to? Those people were at home. In other words, start in your home. Start in your home and work out. And then what else we do? We start at home with Jerusalem. See, he was talking to the Israelites. You start at home first. And Jerusalem was at home. Go ahead.
Read 48.
Yeah.
And ye are witnesses of these things.
Ye are witnesses of these things. In other words, you received it. And why not you go and help somebody else receive it? That's good. And the thing is, what we often do, and I've said this so many times, is probably sound redundant or repetitious. Let us find a good steakhouse, brother. And the world will know. Let us find a good latte. Praise God, and the world will know. But we found Jesus, and we act like we're undercover Christians. We act like we're hidden saints, praise God. Huh? Let somebody know about Jesus. That's the most important aspect of a person's life that they could ever have. Let's go to the next one. John 20:21. Somebody got that? John 20:21. As the Father has sent me. Amen, amen. John 20:21.
Then said Jesus to them again,
Then said Jesus to them again,
Peace be unto you.
Peace be unto you.
As my Father has sent me,
As my Father has sent. In other words, let me back up for a second. See, we ought to go in peace. I shouldn't come to somebody in anger. I shouldn't come upset because they're drunken. Amen. I shouldn't come upset because they hooked to the casino. I shouldn't come upset because they're whoremonger. I shouldn't come upset because of their position in sin. What do sinners do? They sin. Amen. That's why I need to go talk to them. That's why I need to go knock on their door and talk to them and present Christ to them.
Amen.
Sinners sin. So why is it that many times, praise God, that we the people of God get angry because they're doing what they are doing? They're tired of sinner. So they sin. So I don't be angry with them. If anything, it should be reversed. I should be angry with myself. Say, I should have got to them a little earlier. I should have spoken to them a little sooner.
Yes.
I see them every day. We talk about drinking coffee. We talk about baseball games. We talk about boxing matches. We talk about everything but Jesus.
Amen.
I should have spoken just a little sooner. So I'm upset with myself. But not to the point of diminishing myself, but rather building myself up. See, sometimes anger can build you up. Anger can build you up. Y'all remember the little old lady down in the South? Back in the days of segregation? They used to put her on the back of the bus. But one day she said, I ain't going to the back of the bus. And that changed the whole thing, turned around. It was a revolution in that city. Amen? So anger is a good thing. The Bible says anger but sin not. And sometimes we need to get angry with ourselves for being so slowful in the Lord. I'm going to let you finish that in a minute, Elder. For being so slowful in the Lord.
Yes.
See? Anger can boost you. Anger can build you. Anger can motivate you. Anger can motivate other people. Present in the right way when you go to other people.
Come on.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
And so we need to understand that Jesus got angry.
Yes.
When he was in the temple and they were misusing the house of God. Sometimes we need to get angry about the things of God. We don't get angry often enough about the things of God. And when I say angry, I'm not talking about a rage and being ridiculous.
Right.
But being discontent with what's going on. That's basically what it means.
Yes.
Go ahead, Elder.
Even so, sin I you.
Even though, in other words, he said, I was sent by the Father, so I'm going to do likewise, and I want you all to go out and do what I'm doing. Go out and tell the people about God, the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
Amen?
Amen.
So the reason I wanted to read those scriptures, because what I'm talking about is based on those scriptures. If you notice, they're all similar. Amen?
Amen.
One say, all authority has been given, heaven and earth. Go therefore and make disciples of other people, teaching them and baptizing them. Amen?
Amen.
And one said, go into the entire world and preach the gospel. They present it in a different way, but it's saying the same thing.
Right.
In other words, it's saying, get off of your duff and go out there and do what you're supposed to do now that you're saved. Amen?
Amen.
And if you'll notice, in the Bible, all the time, Jesus was teaching his disciples. Teaching his disciples. Teaching his disciples. So when we get into a position and we begin to go out and we begin to learn and we begin to grow, we need to share that with each other and cause others to grow in the church. Oh, come on, somebody.
Preach.
But sometimes we want the glory, so we just be so proud. I can present the gospel better than anybody. I'm the best at presenting the gospel. Instead of sharing how well you can present the gospel. And by the way, I love to present the gospel. There was a time that I was blocked in a certain church. I was going in for prayer, but you know what I did? I began to pray, and when I got through praying, I began to teach about talking to people about salvation, trying to bring them to Christ. And praise God, my sister, my sweet sister, Sister Lucy, she was present in some of the things that I did. And she's going on today and going on the streets. Suppose I would have said, well, ain't nobody coming but 1 or 2 people, ain't but 3 or 4 people here. And wouldn't have done it.
That ain't your
No, I didn't care about that.
That's right.
I'm supposed to present what I know. I'm supposed to share what God give me. See, when we be selfish and hold that thing, what good is it?
No.
I feel the same way about finances. I'm not going to be a fool about them. But at the same time, my pleasure really comes when I can share my finances with the body of Christ. When I can share my finances with my sister and brother.
Yeah.
And if I feel like they ain't going to use it right, I'll say, what do you need? Oh, I need 2 pillows. I'll go buy you 2 pillows and bring them to you.
Come on now.
That way I know you get what you say you want it.
Come on.
Amen.
Amen.
But what I'm saying, a lot of times we get locked up. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, and I don't want nobody. I'm good, and so I'm gonna keep it all to myself and whatever. No. Share that. If it's good, share it.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Just as that food, that good food you talk about will make people fat. Guess what? That good word and that good ability to share Christ, guess what? It will also make folks fat.
Yeah. Come on now.
But they'll be fat in the spirit, praise God. They'll be fat in the spirit. I'd rather be fat in the spirit than fat with my big belly hanging out in the physical. Amen? Oh, we just talking about sharing the gospel of Christ. Help people to know Christ. Help people to know Christ. See, sometimes our concentration is on the wrong thing in the church. And I'm here to say, not only Sister Lucy was there, but Brother and Sister Price. And some folk look down on them because of their mental demeanor. But I got news for you. Those 2 people are yet sharing Christ. They're yet doing it. So I give glory to the Lord. I'm not trying to build me up or say, I've done this, I've done. But God led my heart, and God told me something when I first started ministering, say, it don't matter about the crowd. If it's one-on-one, do it.
That's right.
If I give you to share, you do it.
Yeah.
If I give you to preach and you go to a church and if it ain't nobody there but the preacher himself, preach.
Amen.
That's my job.
Yeah.
I don't care about numbers. God showed me a long time ago, so you're going to minister to thousands of people. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. But he's already fulfilled that. And not pat me on the back, but I'm just showing you, when God tells you something, it's going to come to pass. And you have to believe that so you can help people to know Christ. If you believe that strongly, then you'll go minister.
That's right.
Help people to know Christ.
Amen.
But if you don't, you'll lay back. I was on WKRS. I don't know how many folks heard me. I don't know the 10 or 50,000 or whatever. But, you know, I ministered there for a month and a half. But glory to God, I came off of there. I was kind of sad. But God spoke to me and he said, you're going to be on again. And guess what? I'm on again now. Praise be to God. I'm going to be on, I'm on internet, man. I'm not going to be. I'm on internet. On Gmail. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is this, and I know you understand it. God does what he said he would do. I don't know how many folks heard me on Thursday before last. I don't know how many folks going to hear me in the future. But I'm sure that if God spoke it, I'm going to minister to 100,000, whatever. But one by one, that's how we build the kingdom. How do you build a house? You're going to build a brick house. You don't put up 90 bricks at one at a time.
Come on.
And guess what? You'll build a strong house. So one person at a time, we can build a strong people for God.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
What I'm saying ain't even on my notes. but the Lord has his way.
Yeah.
He has his way. But see, what I tell folks whenever you minister, praise God, it ought to be just something to ignite you.
Yeah.
Sometime in order to get a fire going, You need something to ignite it. Amen?
Amen.
But you don't necessarily identify, well, I'm going to use this stick of wood, that stick of wood, this stick of wood, that stick of wood. You use whatever stick that become handy.
Right,
so I say whatever God give me to say. Are you following what I'm saying? I don't pick and choose, but God gives me what to say. Amen?
Come on now.
And so I have my notes, but I'm not going to follow notes. I'm going to follow the Spirit of God.
Come on.
Amen?
Preach, Holy Spirit. Preach.
And so that was the first part of it. Base scriptures, what I wanted you to understand. I'm not just up here saying something. I'm not just up here talking to hear myself talk. I'm nobody. Nobody want to hear what I say. Not only that, without the Spirit of the Lord, ain't no telling what I'm about to say.
Come on.
Amen?
Amen.
Like old song used to say, it was talking about this person that was, I guess, with a boyfriend or something. But anyway, so I saw a woman about to break a date trying to make a getaway. I guess the boyfriend's girlfriend was out. And it said if Lucy catch you, said ain't no telling what poor Lucy may do. I guess Lucy was not you, was a pretty bad woman. Was a pretty bad woman. You have to hear the song to understand it. So what I'm saying is this. You know, we can't lock ourselves in. We can't do what we want to do. We have to let God pick and choose. We have to let God guide us. Amen?
Amen.
So we're going to go down to the second part. Soul winning through Christian witness. Number one I got here. All activity is motivated by something. Why do I make my bed? I don't want it to be all raggedy, looking bad when folks come in case they go in the bedroom. Why do I change my sheets? I want to be clean. I don't want to sleep in a nasty bed. So what I'm saying here is you have to be motivated by something in order to do it and be successful at it. Amen? Why do I wash my dishes? I want a clean house. I don't want to have dishes and pile up in the sink and I can't even eat. I ain't got nothing to eat out of. Amen? Amen. Cockroaches crawling everywhere. Rats and mice coming out. I do that for a reason. I'm motivated to do that for a reason. Yeah. Amen? Amen. And we have various reasons. And so we need to be motivated by something. In other words, what will move us to be the witness God wants us to be? You ever thought about that? What would cause me to want to go out there and share the gospel? And the number one thing I got is the love of God.
That's it.
See?
That's it.
So a lot of times we quote John 3:16, but do we really think about John 3:16 in depth? The love of God, the love of God, the love of God. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son. So we're made in God's image. Should we love too?
Come on now.
We're in God's image.
That's it.
But yet, a lot of us won't even love nobody. We won't reach out to nobody. Yeah. God reached out to us. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. And we was talking about how that we go do so many things. And we go around God. We cuss God. We do everything. And then finally, we'll come back and fall on our knees crying and begging. And guess what? Guess what the sweet Lord does? Yeah. He reach out and say, welcome home.
Yes.
Welcome home. Amen. And He forgives us.
Yeah.
Amen. We have to have that love of forgiveness too. And if we have that love of forgiveness and that desire to do the things that God has called us to do, then we're going to go out and help somebody to know Christ. Yes. Amen. Amen. Looking down here, the second thing I got is the love of Christ compels us. 2 Corinthians 5:14. The love of Christ compels us. It compels us. In other words, it causes us to get on out there. When we would normally lay up in our bed on Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, I'm too tired, we get up and get them tracts and go on out there. We go and share the gospel with somebody somewhere. Why? Again, love. He loved us. So we should do His work. out of love. We should go and share some love with somebody else. And I found out sometime when you're on the street, folk just need you. God has sent you for that person. And you begin to talk to them and tears begin to roll down their cheeks. And that tell you that they need you.
Yeah.
They need you. They need that voice. They need you to talk to them. Amen? Amen. And the wonderful Spirit of the Lord has sent you there to share the gospel. Amen? Amen. Another purpose is to fulfill God's purpose in your life. Well, if you're not sharing the gospel, are you really fulfilling the purpose that God put in your life? Amen? Some people say, well, I was called to preach. Well, you should be sharing it even all the more outside of the pulpit as well as in. Amen? So don't get yourself on a pedestal talking about, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm Reverend so-and-so, I'm Elder so-and-so. So let them go out. Sheep beget sheep.
No, he didn't. He didn't go.
See? The Bible says that we all are to go out and share the gospel. When it says go out and preach the gospel, that don't mean that the preacher. Actually, you could change that word preach to go out and share. Or go out, again, go out and serve.
Yeah. Come on now.
Be a servant.
You preach.
Jesus told us his disciples, they was debating among themselves who was the greatest. But he let them know, he said the greatest is a servant.
That's right.
You don't serve nobody, you ain't going to be great. Amen? And going on down through here, it said, you are a chosen race. In other words, you're special people. You're not just anybody.
Yes, anybody.
You are a chosen race.
Go ahead.
A royal priesthood. A holy nation. A people for God's own possession that may proclaim the excellence of Him.
Yes.
Proclaiming the excellence of Him. What is that? Sharing the gospel. Amen? And also minister to yourself. Building yourself up. Sometimes the reason we don't go out and share the gospel is because we're down. We're depressed. We sad.
Yeah.
Like one of my pastors used to say. He used to say, sad, mad, and bad. We don't want to be sad, mad, and bad. But we want to be good, loving, kind, and caring. But nevertheless, we are not just somebody. We are a chosen people. A holy nation. So we are to go out and proclaim the essence of Him who has called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Now, if someone else is running around out there in the darkness, shouldn't they have equal opportunity to see just like you do? Why do you, raise your hand if you like to see somebody dwell in darkness in the natural. Can you imagine being in your house and no light at all? Walking around, stumbling, tripping over tables and chairs. And that's the way it is with sinners. They're tripping. They're falling. They're stumbling. Can't find stuff when they need it. They have to wait. See, you're walking through your house. Revelation here. You have to wait if you don't have light. You can't do anything in the dark. Because you're stumbling and tripping and you might hurt yourself. You might even kill yourself. So it is with a sinner. He's in the dark. He's stumbling, he's tripping, and he's walking around, and so he can't accomplish anything.
Yes.
Know what he can accomplish? I'm about to get happy. Because I just got a revelation. When the light comes, then he can do his work. He can walk around. He can do whatever he needs to do. He can wash the dishes. He can fold his linen. He can do all of those things. Why? Because the light has come. So he can do his work. That he needs to do. Even though it be dark on the outside, he's on the inside. And I'm going to say the house with the light in it represents the body of Christ. Once we get on the inside, where that light is, praise God, then we can do, we can see, because light has come and darkness has been pushed back. Amen. Amen. Now this stuff ain't on my notes. This ain't on my notes. But I thank God for the Holy Spirit that reveals Himself and gives me what to say. See, if you yield yourself to God and pray and say, Lord, you do it. You give me what to do. He'll do it. And so we bring them out to darkness into the marvelous light. Just as we came out to darkness into the marvelous light. Amen? Now see, this situation is just not some situation. My next I'm going to talk about is urgency. Urgency, urgency. Urgency means right now. Right now. Got to get it done right now. Urgency is just another word for emergency. See, emergency, when you got an emergency, the ambulance don't come next week, but they're just in a matter of minutes. Hopefully. Sometimes you wonder what the service they getting now. Amen? But urgency means we got to get it done now. And some of the southern people say, get her done. Get her done. We got to get her done. Get her done. Get her done. And so we look, and by notes the urgency. Another important about Jesus, John 3:17, he came not to condemn. Oh, don't get me wrong. See, I don't have to condemn you. All I'm going to do is preach the word. And the word will bring the condemnation according to the will of God. That's right. Amen? Amen. I'm not going to condemn you. You say, well, oh, Elder Stewart, he said this, he said that. No, I'm just giving you the word that God gave me. Well, some of you might say, well, he done wrote all that stuff. He sure said a lot. He wrote all that on that note. Man, I ain't even through the first page yet. And I'll probably minister 90 pages, amen? But it's the power of God. It's not me. We have to rely on the power of God. If you rely on the power of God, you can be the greatest witness and you can have souls come in. Yes, that's it. Tell you a quick story. Tell you a quick story. Let me finish this up. It says, you have been born again, not of the seed, which is, I went through that already. 1 Peter 1:23. The gospel is the power of God for salvation to everyone who do what? Believe. Who believe. Now, how are they going to believe? See, I'm not there to try to make folks believe. Oh, some of you looking at me strange. I am there to present the truth. I am there to present the truth. And the truth and the power of the Spirit will cause them to believe. Yes. See, I can't bring anybody into the body of Christ. The Bible says that the Spirit of the Lord draws them. That's right. But I'm commanded and I'm supposed to go out and present the truth. Amen. I'm supposed to present there is another way. I'm supposed to present there is help for you. Amen? Sometimes I tell people when they decide to go out and witness, I said, when you don't see a bunch of folks coming in and folks reject you and stuff, don't be upset, don't be angry. Don't be upset, don't be angry. I ain't going to keep it no longer. I ain't going to preach the second page. But don't be upset and don't be angry. You know why? Because the Lord is going to work it out. If they reject the Lord, they'll go on their way. If they receive Him, they will still go on their way, but they will stop and go into church. They will join to a body that's in Christ. Amen? Amen. I remember one time, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to shut down. I remember one time this one lady, I was working down at the Postal Service in Carroll Stream, and she used to, or River Grove it was. That's before I went to Carroll. She used to come in and I would try to witness to her. I brought in tracts and I was bringing in little books and I was reading, God bless you, sister, praise the Lord, and this and that and the other and so forth and so on. And I was just trying to get that woman saved in my own power, and I would be nice to her and all kinds of things and bringing her treats and stuff. You know what? After a while I got mad. I said, shit, I would forget that. I'm sick of that. I forget it. So I was trying to do it in my own power. But see, I'm pretty sure that God let me see that I can't do nothing. Amen. I think that was the idea that He let all this happen. She came in one day, and that woman was dancing up and down the aisles and shouting and jumping and, hey, praise the Lord, hallelujah, glory to God, glory to God. But that was after I had backed off of me trying to get her saved. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So understand that we present the gospel. We be that witness. We be that, the greatest witness we can be is a living witness. And she probably saw how I was living. I wasn't cussing and hollering and screaming like a lot of them folks in the Postal Service was doing. I wasn't upset when other folks was upset, see. I'd go on my way, you know. So anyway, long story short, she got saved. The Lord brought her in, not me. But as long as I was wrestling with it, trying to give her natural things and talking to her and doing this and doing that. And then basically all I should have done was just present the gospel with all about my business. But see, I was sort of a bribery kind of thing in a sense of speaking, you know. I was going out of my way. She beat 3 or 4 machines over, I run over. Hey, how you doing today? God bless you, sister. You know. But once you present the gospel, then the power of the Lord will come in and do what it needs to do. So I will close by saying our primary mission should be to help people to come to Christ.
Amen.
Remember, help people to come to Christ. In other words, present the gospel. Amen.
Hallelujah.
God bless you.
Hallelujah.